Hey, what's happening? Jerem, Dylan, how are you?
Oh, Dylan's muted, but I'm good.
What? What? Which one of you? Which one of you knuckleheads muted me?
I can't mute you. I don't have those type of controls.
I didn't mute anyone.
Oh
You
wait, it must
muted
I
be
know
just
yourself.
I know it mutes. I know it mutes all of us whenever we are.
Dog, Stoop, and Pig Aaron. I love it. Oh, so
the.
the divisional round is done, and there's a lot of people that joined the other 6 teams on the chair from the week before, right? You know what
Wait,
chair I'm
what?
talking about. I said
Yep.
4 more teams are gone, right?
Yep.
Total of 10 teams out of
Um.
the playoffs.
Well, Sam Darnold can't play in prime time 2 weeks in a row. Um. Dan Campbell mentioned that. Oh, by speaking of Minnesota, I saw Kevin got a multi-year extension.
He did. Kudos to him. And
Um.
they're talking to Quezzy about extending him.
And I guess we'll stay in the north, Jaron. Might as well tell us, you know, we talked about it backstage. You really can't be mad about, going to a different team on the
I mean,
new role, new position.
right, right.
We knew he was,
If it wasn't a step up, if it wasn't a step up, if it was a lateral move and he was just the offensive coordinator and assistant head coach, I I would be upset. I'm not upset. I don't know who the Lions are going to OC. I know internally the two that are the favorite and the only two that make sense right now would be either the assistant head coach Scotty Montgomery or promoting the passing game coordinator that's been there ever since Ben Johnson took over, studying as his protege, the tight ends and passing game coordinator Tanner Engstrom. So I have the feeling either Mark Grinnell or Hank Fraley is going to Chicago with him. I just got that feeling, or both.
Uh, I must tell you this. I think the Lions have to go outside the organization. They can't do the Philadelphia Eagle way and hire the tight end coach, the wide receiver coach. Dan Campbell's not an offensive
Wait,
minded
Dylan,
coach.
Dylan,
He's
I'm going to push back on it. We already did that once and it worked. Because guess what? Ben Johnson was not the original offensive coordinator. He was the passing game coordinator and tight ends coach
That's
that was
true.
promoted after Anthony Lynn was told he can't play call anymore.
I would argue this team is way too talented to have a no name OC. They need a
We
big
just did it for
time
3 years.
they need a big time OC hire right now.
But
I
if you
I
look at
think
wait, there's some merit to what I'm saying though. Tanner Angstrom, he started out as a QB coach, just like Ben Johnson. He was a QB coach for a team. He went and became the tight ends coach and passing game coordinator under Cliff Kingsbury in Arizona. When he was fired, Ben Johnson brought him in to be his protege underneath him at Detroit as soon as he was the OC. It's the same career path. The
Right,
exact
you
same
promote
career path.
within. It's continuity, Dylan. That's why you do it.
no. The Kellen
Yes,
Moore
it
was not
is.
no, Nick Sirianni did not hire Kellen Moore because he was for the Eagle team. Nick
We're not
Sirianni
the fucking Eagles.
actually you all the Eagles. You've been to the play
No, no, no,
you've
no,
been
no.
to
We're not the Eagles. We didn't go to the Super Bowl. We're not the Eagles. Don't put us in that boat. Don't put us in that boat. They've got a Super Bowl trophy. We don't. I'm telling you, it's more than likely going to be Tanner Engstrom out of the two because Scotty
and
Montgomery, this was his first year here. But if they go outside, that's fine. Where I think they might go outside is on defensive coordinator because there's a 4-2-5 defensive coordinator that's not even in a defensive position that's technically a free agent this offseason. And he's right in our division that we could interview.
Matt Eberflus.
No, Robert Salah.
Oh gosh. What if he ends up becoming the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Nah, I think it's going to be Kellen Moore or Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's
And
Kellen
I
Moore,
think
yeah.
Aaron Glenn.
Aaron Glenn fits the bill because he has previous connections to the Cowboys. He played for the Cowboys. Same thing with Kellen Moore. He was around. Jerry Jones likes to hire people that have previous connection to the team.
And Aaron Glenn was drafted by the Jets and coached for the Saints. So, and he's got the Saints interview tomorrow. The Dallas Cowboys interview isn't until Saturday. Jerry didn't wake up and smell the coffee again. He's getting behind the 8 ball on these hiring.
Fail. But
Jerry Jones is going to be the head coach.
oh
Didn't you
god,
guys see the
He is
AI?
no matter who he gets anyways, and I think that's the reason why Aaron Jones won't go there.
No, Aaron Glenn would go there because he's got previous. He played for the Cowboys. That's what I wrote an article about it. Jerry Jones wants guys with experience or who have previous connections with the team.
It's why Kellen Moore makes more sense.
Right, it definitely does. I like Kellen Moore.
I've got a question, man. With all these coaching rumors and vacancies, what's going to happen with my team? Because
maybe, but I don't know.
You're going to end up with another new coach. That's what's going to happen because you stuck with the GM. I'm telling you right now, there isn't a head coach that has any type of pedigree that wants to coach with Belichick. That's why Byron Leftwich didn't take the job.
You think no one jumps to Jacksonville job because
Peterson? It was a good move.
Do you think no one jumps to that job because they know they might have to go overseas for a couple weeks?
Well, no, somebody may get that job eventually because they're renovating their stadium to be able to host a Super Bowl again.
No, it's not. No,
building a new stadium.
That doesn't mean they're going to play in it.
It's a brand new stadium they're building. They're not renovating the old one. They did the renovations for the old one was shot down. It's a brand new stadium that's being built, and it's a dome.
Where at?
For Jacksonville.
Where the stadium is.
So they tore down the other one already?
No.
No, they already broke ground on the other one. It's right next to it, basically. It's like 2 blocks away from where the old one was.
You're still going to be able to see it off 95?
Yep.
And I'll tell you what I think happens. I think the Jags hire Liam Cohen as the next coach.
Liam Cohen?
Cohen.
The offensive coordinator.
That would make sense because he stays in Florida.
And help Baker have his best year. So why can't he help Trevor get?
And he calls some pretty cool plays too.
But
because Baker Mayfield is way better than Trevor Lawrence.
Well,
yes, he is. Trevor Lawrence statistically is Daniel Jones. You can laugh at it, but it's the truth.
I know it's the truth. That's why I'm laughing.
Yards per throw in the air.
Look, you're talking to me. I have never been a Trevor Lawrence fan, even in college.
I'm gonna break it down for you. Yards per attempt through the air: 6.7 yards per attempt for Trevor Lawrence, 6.8 for Daniel Jones.
Sometimes all a quarterback needs is the right coaching and the right scheme, and they'll do well.
I think Daniel Jones will do good somewhere else. That's my thing, as I'm saying, because I think both of them. I think he'd have been better off to not have gotten that big contract, to have taken the 5th-year option, and been a free agent this year to get the hell out of there.
Well,
you know what's weird is Brian Thomas Jr., your great rookie wide receiver, has more yards and more touchdowns with Mac Jones, and Trevor Lawrence played more games.
That just makes him a great receiver that he can play with either or.
No, they're not. It's a 1% better completion percentage for Daniel Jones. Coming into the season,
I'm talking about Brian Thomas.
No, somebody in the comments said that Pretty T stats are way better. 64.5 completion percentage for Trevor Lawrence, 65.6 for Daniel Jones.
By
Is
the
that
way,
your guy or Dylan's guy?
That's one of my guys talking in there.
Okay. So he's
Dog
always going to
stupid
talk shit on you.
Aaron is one of Dylan's guys. Or it could be a
Touchdowns
woman.
to interception, it's almost identical. Oh, I'm sorry. You bought one of those?
no, I got one of these.
I think Trevor.
Yeah.
I think
Hi,
Trevor
Dylan.
Look,
PB
I was
is-
impressed
PB
with
is-
Trevor Lawrence's record in college and all that, but hey, the ACC wasn't really anything great.
I mean, heck, now it's even worse because Florida State's way down. I mean, Florida State was awful this year.
Yeah, but it could be better now with an 18-team league and a 12-team playoff. You never know.
Gosh. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Don't get me started on SMU again, please.
And their total yards are less than 800 yards apart, Broski Bear, even with them having 2 4,000-yard seasons.
By the way, how do New York Giant fans feel that Saquon Barkley's run for like 9,000 yards in 2 playoff
I
games?
would have done it. I always said I would have gotten rid of him too. He wasn't going to thrive in New York with that offensive line, and you don't pay running backs anymore. How many times have I've said this so many times, Dylan?
You pay a running back like Saquon Barkley.
I would
No,
take
you don't pay the running backs. Not with the Giants. He wasn't going to flourish with the Giants.
All right,
He had no
usually-
offensive line.
Yeah, Barkley just did. Well, I thought Barkley did his thing on the Giants, but he was never really a fit for the Giants.
Exactly. Thank you, Adam. Running
Do
backs.
I feel he's in the right spot
Always say
now?
that. They're a dime a dozen.
I feel that Saquon is in the right spot now.
Exactly, he is.
By the way, Jeremy, I mean, thinking you've played Washington, your team played Philly in the past. I cannot figure out Jalen Hurts because in 2 playoff games, Jalen Hurts has thrown under 200 yards twice. It's basically been Saquon Barkley and a defense. I mean, be honest with you, in appalling weather, Matthew Stafford and the Rams gave Philly all they could want. And frankly, Philly may win on Sunday. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the way Washington's playing, I mean, Commanders look like a team of destiny. But if the Eagles make the Super Bowl,
I said that
I
too.
don't
They're
think-
a team of destiny.
I don't think the Eagles beat the Bills or Chiefs partly because Jalen Hurts is not a good quarterback.
Yeah, but the Eagles got the biggest offensive line in football. They got a huge offensive line.
So what? Detroit's offensive line's just as good, and Jared Goff was.
We're not talking about good. We're
atrocious.
talking about big.
And Detroit's
Oh.
offensive line's big too.
So,
Yeah, Eagles got the biggest one.
so Jamie,
Every guy on their line is like 330. The Eagles.
Jamie, my kid texts me and goes, "Hey, can you give me that 17 jersey for my birthday?"
We're talking about Josh wants an Allen jersey.
Yeah, that's his middle name. That's the funny thing, Joshua Allen. That's his full name.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
He just said Eagles versus Bills in the Super Bowl.
that's what he's thinking. I'm thinking.
It
I'm
might be
thinking.
Commanders and Chiefs.
I got another one. How about a throwback Super Bowl that regenerates Commanders Bills?
Oh no!
I don't know if the Bills win in Arrowhead.
I think they can. They're back.
Who is
They're
the
back-
referee this week, and then we'll know for sure. The
They're
one
back
guy's
against the wall all year.
the one guy is 7-0 as the one guy is 7-0 Chiefs winning if he's the referee this weekend. I forget his name though.
Good news.
You heard Josh
Claymore
Allen.
is
Josh
not the
Allen. We don't
referee.
care about that.
Whoa! One at a fucking
We all
time,
love
boys.
each other.
One at a fucking time.
Bills don't care about that outside noise with the refs and everything. They don't care about that.
But the one ref is 7-0 coaching the Chiefs at home this year.
Right. and do you
Repping.
think the Bills
I
care
said
about
coaching.
that?
Repping.
No.
repping
you
this.
listen to Allen's press conference? He said, we don't care about outside noise. We don't listen to any of that. And we all love each other and care about each other. He said that. He's like all year long, we've been hearing about we're too small. We don't have enough talent and everything. And we just all love each other and we keep working hard.
By the way,
That wasn't the question. That was not the question at all. I was asking, is that referee going to be reffing on Sunday?
Oh, I don't know about that. But even if he does, they can't control that. They got to go out and play.
By the way, Jamie, good news. The one guy, Clay Martin, won't be reffing. Cleve Blakeman will be the referee for the AFC Championship
Who
game.
is that?
The Chiefs. Cleve Blakeman will be the referee for the AFC Championship game.
As long as it's not John Hussey. I'm not a big fan of John Hussey.
Cheat Blakeman? Cheat
John
Blakeman?
Hussey?
Are you kidding? Are you serious? Cheat Blakeman?
Cleve Blakeman will be the referee.
I don't like him.
Mahomes and the Chiefs. Mahomes and the Chiefs.
The home team wins.
No. Mahomes and the Chiefs only 6-5 with Cleve Blakeman as referee. And by the way,
you're saying there's a chance.
I think so. Both these teams are going to war Sunday. It's going to be a great game.
I think both of these games this weekend should be some down to the line, some down to the zero line, thrilling games.
Yep.
I mean, this is the third game for the Chiefs. I mean, this is the third game for the Redskins and the Eagles, and this is the second game for the Bills and Chiefs. This should be an excellent game on both ends on both days.
Exactly, because both teams know each other and have played each other.
As a Lions fan, I'm not even going to talk crap about making the playoffs because we did nothing in them.
That was I thought Dan Campbell took a real man to show his emotions like that after losing a game like that. I admire him for doing that in the press conference. I know.
I heard people clowning him already. It's ridiculous. You know, the way Dan Campbell treats his players and puts his heart on his sleeve for them, that's why they do what they do for him.
And that's why they will be back next year.
I love
not losing anyone.
I'm making a bold prediction right now. I don't think Detroit's winning 15 games next year.
Winning what?
I don't think Detroit's winning 15 games next year.
I didn't say they'd win 16. Who said that? I think the whole North is going to be separated by 2 games. I think last place will have 10 wins and first place will have 12. I think
Johnson coaching the Bears.
I think we're going to beat the shit out of each other, and it's going to be a split down the middle, and it's going to be whoever has the better outside the conference record wins the division. This year it was the Lions.
Are you saying the Bears are going to be good next year?
Because look who their coach is now, Adam.
But at the same time, until they fix that O-line, I'm not going to say they're going to be better. Until they fix that O-line that gave up.
Look who their head coach is. It's going to be Ben Johnson.
Yeah, but they still have to get the O-line as good as Detroit's.
Right.
And Caleb Williams still has to learn to play ball when there's actually defense on him.
I'll push back. He had better stats than Trevor Lawrence had.
Anyone?
Yeah, but
come on!
Some guys need to be coachable. Caleb Williams said he wanted a coach with structure and guidance.
And you know what? Don Burr,
he actually said Ben Johnson gives him structure and guidance. He said he got none of that with Eberflus.
Because Eberflus is an offensive coach.
But I'm saying he wanted Williams wanted somebody with structure and guidance, and he says Ben Johnson can give him that.
And I get that. He's never been a head coach.
I don't care. We're still talking about Caleb fucking Williams.
I know.
No, but this is what he wants, and he's endorsing.
He's wanted everything. He got everything, and he sucked.
Right, but he had
won 4 fucking games.
Right, but he
I don't care if you had better stats.
Talent-wise, you can have everything, but if you don't have a structure or guidance from a coach, that doesn't mean beans.
He did something that Mitch Trubisky and Justin Fields couldn't do. He beat the Packers.
Oh, speaking of the
I do
Packers,
got a good
Nail it when
point.
you don't
That's
have
a great
coaching or
point,
structure,
Adam.
that doesn't mean anything, Adam. You know that.
speaking
It's a
of the
great point.
Packers, speaking of the Packers, I think Green Bay wins the division next year by 3 games.
Matt LaFleur.
Wow.
And now you got to have that other question that everybody's been asking lately.
I'm gonna
but
wait for
sure.
the schedule to come out before I make any bold
Yeah, you're
predictions.
probably
Yeah.
right. I mean, like if New England,
If the Jaguars
know who
get
we're
Leon
playing, but you
Cohen,
don't
I think
know-
the Jags go 7-10.
I know who
With
we're
Trevor
playing.
Like we know
And I
know
know
who they're
who's going
playing. We
away.
just don't know the order.
Right.
Right.
And it
I mean,
really
if you
depends
call-
on when you play everybody. It doesn't matter what your schedule is beforehand, because they always base that strength of schedule off of the previous year's record. And that being said, your weak teams and your good teams, it depends on how they line up. If all your weak games are bunched together, you're going to have a good run and get something going. And then all of a sudden you go up against a good team and get smacked in the mouth. It happens all the time.
Let me tell you about 5-game losing streak because we played good teams at the end of the season. And everyone else, oh, he's a great coach. Awesome. Great. Oh shit! Fucking,
I know you hate
fucking blows. Tomlin blows fucking balls.
Actually, EA and Carissa like Mike Tomlin.
I got one for you.
Who?
EA and Carissa.
I don't give
I
a
got
fuck.
Aaron
one for you.
Andrews and Carissa
Look,
Thompson. Buddy.
Okay. What teams do they root for during the regular season?
EA and Carissa, they're neutral. They're Fox Sports reporters.
They still have to have a team.
Okay, here I got one
Why-
for you. There,
Adam, you're not going to rip on Aaron.
So here's my
Adam,
Thompson on the
Adam,
show. They're
Adam.
my women that I
Before you
like,
go
and I'm
off.
not going to let you do that.
I have a joke for you that's going to get you even madder. Do you realize the
What?
Dallas Cowboys has won a playoff game since the last
Okay.
time the Steelers have?
Mhm.
Is that a
All
joke?
right.
No, it's the truth.
oh, by the way,
Okay, so since we lost to Green Bay in 2011, the Steelers have beaten Matt Moore, and we beat the Chiefs by kicking 6 field goals, and we beat the Bengals by kicking 6 field goals, and that's all. That's it. And then we've gotten blown out in every other fucking game.
Amazing.
oh wait, Adam. Oh wait, didn't
Jamie,
Blake
I'm not
Bortles-
talking trash on your girls. I'm just asking you what teams they really root for.
Hey,
They
Adam,
really don't. They try to remain neutral as Fox sideline
Right, but-
reporters.
But they have to have a team.
I'd have to look. I don't know.
Everybody has a team.
Aaron
Jamie, if
Andrews
you work,
is Tampa
Jamie,
Bay
if you work
Bucks.
for Fox, you would have to be neutral. You could not be a Bills fan.
No, you know what? There's team. It doesn't matter if you came from a
But,
team. You're
but-
still
but
that fan,
in your heart, you would be a Bills fan.
right?
But you work for Fox, so you have to be neutral.
And I want to work for Fox. That's my goal.
Right.
That's
But
everybody's goal.
that's what I'm saying. Like they have to have a team. So why would any of you guys? Why would any of you guys like Mike? Like you guys? Why would you guys not like Mike Tomlin? You know
no
he's not going to compete. You know he's not going to compete for a Super Bowl. You know he's not going to be there in the end because he sucks once he
Didn't
gets
he
to
win
the
a Super Bowl?
playoffs.
Didn't he win a Super Bowl with Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was. Yeah.
I don't
it
care.
was with-
I'm just making a point.
He won one.
Ah,
Okay. He won one.
You know what's funny is everybody loves Cower, and he did the exact same thing.
If Cower probably would have been booted out of here too the same way. But we didn't have all this magical Twitter. We had MySpace kind of like when Cower was in Cower was kind of towards the end.
Dad, that's a great point. I agree. The Lions should grab that Stewart from Texas A&M. That guy's a mammoth of a man. Great defensive end.
I think
it'd
the
be a great
Lions-
choice.
But why would any of you guys not love him?
I don't like him anymore. I think you should get a new coach. I said it.
Josh McNally, Tomlin better start learning Chinese.
I
But
said it.
I
I
do
told
this-
you, Adam. A lot of candidates are going to want that Steelers job if you get rid
Right.
of Tom.
And every weekend ask me, who do I want to replace him? And I go, who's not going to line up at the door to want this Steeler job?
My dad is in the chat. That's Ken Ballrick.
Danny Smith, the
matches
gum
my last
chewer.
name. And Ricky Seacott, his great-grandfather was a member of the Black Sox, one of the ones that didn't get banned and got to play in 1920 after that whole ordeal.
He played with
So,
Joe. He played with
He
Shoeless.
played with Shoeless Joe Jackson and all that. Eddie Seacott was his
awesome.
great-grandfather. For these two, I play this track because my dad was a former DJ. So every time I see them in my chat, I do this. I just do a little music track for him.
Jeremy, any chance he passed the jersey on down the line?
I wish, because
Dude, I've been looking for a Pirates one for so long. No numbers on the back, just PVC on the left shoulder, the gray button down or the white with the gray collar. Oh my God, I've been looking for one. I want one.
I just don't.
That's just me though. That's just me though.
Look at that. Eddie Seacott was the man, the lead man. He was their first starter and one of the few who actually got paid. Yep. And he actually got to play in 1920. Corey goes, oh shit, I heard it all the way here. JB, he's talking about the song. Oh, Jamie. Oh, he must be using Cricket Wireless today. He dropped out. I say that about all my fans when they're on my shows if they drop out.
Wow, I wasn't ready for that.
Holy crap! Let me see if I'm seeing. Holy crap! Have you seen the crazy snow on the Panhandle? Like 10 inches in New Orleans, 7.5 in Mobile, 6.5 in Pensacola.
Winnipeg.
I'm laughing. I might have that outside right now. I'm not sure.
Right. I mean, I'm laughing.
We're talking about Jamie. How much snow do you guys have?
How much do we have? Maybe
about a foot.
2 to 3 inches up there.
That's all we got here in Michigan.
In New Orleans than Buffalo.
I'm in Flint, Michigan, which is an hour north of Detroit. Think about that. I'm further north than Buffalo.
I know.
Do you get the sweeping down too of the Northerners? Do you get that too?
Yeah,
I thought it was. That was only off of Erie. I didn't realize that was off Michigan.
No,
too.
Michigan has 3 Great Lakes around it, so when it comes through here, it's awful. We got Lake Michigan.
You got Lake Huron. You got Lake,
and then Lake Superior.
You got the 3. You got 3 of the 4 major lakes right there.
The 3 biggest ones. There's more water around Michigan than there's land.
Were either you two at the game on Saturday at the games this weekend?
No, I only go once a year. The tickets are too expensive for the playoffs.
I wasn't sure, Jim. You know,
James Burgess, he's my resident comic in the chat. He goes, "How much snow do I have?" Tony Montana dropped off a few kilos earlier.
There's 7 Great Lakes, ain't there?
There's 5.
5. All right, Josh is smarter than me. Anyway,
Yep,
that's why.
It's Lake Michigan, Lake Superior, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, and Lake Ontario. Lake Ontario is the one that's closest to Buffalo. Bob Speed in the jungle, the mighty jungle. Yes, the Lions sleeping for the rest of the offseason. Patty Grants, I lived up north. We always got a lot of lake effect snow.
You guys know I am the trivia savant. If you try and stump me, you lose. I was thinking, do you guys have any Championship Sunday trivia questions for me?
Yeah, I think I do.
I'm looking for a good one.
Will Caitlin Clark be at this game sitting next to Taylor Swift again?
Oh, I really hope CBS shows Haley Steinfeld when the Bills win.
Yeah, she just got named the Queen of Buffalo.
Hell yeah! And then you know what? They're gonna make some buffalo wings out of it.
And guess what? I made a joke on my show. I said, Travis and Taylor, you have a nice love story. but you're going to be in trouble this week because Haley Seinfeld and Josh Allen will be the reason for the teardrops on your guitar this week.
Ooh.
Here we go. Here we go, Dylan.
What?
Who was the cornerback that tackled Kevin Dyson 1 yard short of the game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl? What's the name of the cornerback?
I said Championship Sunday, not Super Bowl.
Oh, you did, but I'm just saying it's a championship question.
I said Championship Sunday, not Super
The
Bowl.
only one, were you even born during that Super Bowl?
I was the first Super Bowl I was born for would have been Cowboys, Bills, and Pasadena.
Yeah, he was born for that then.
I got one.
By the way,
so that's not a good question.
Linebacker was.
I got a really good
linebacker.
One.
No,
well, hold on, Jeremy. What is your answer? Because I have no idea.
Linebacker was Stephen Jones.
Not Kevin. It was Mike Jones.
Mike Jones. Sorry.
Who? Mike Jones. Who?
Yeah.
Mike Jones.
Mike Jones.
Hi, Sage. 8281-330-8004.
In his
all right, James. What's your question?
Number was 52.
Okay. Let's see. What kicker for the Minnesota Vikings in the 1998 NFC Championship game between them and the Falcons missed a crucial kick that would have sealed the game for the Vikings, and the game would have never went to overtime, and the Falcons would have never won? Name that.
Gary Anderson missed for the first time in 2 years.
You got it. And guess what? He was one of the Bills kickers in training camp, and they cut him actually way back in the day. The Bills did.
Okay.
Man, what happens to these people after they leave the Steelers?
Yep, Gary Anderson.
They're not very good.
What was the name of the cornerback that committed the PI that wasn't called that sent the Rams to the Super Bowl? He said he wants to get it.
Saints.
Yep. You know, it was the Rams cornerback.
Marshawn Rams cornerback, you said?
Mm-hmm. They didn't call the PI, and that's why the Rams went to the Super Bowl.
Jalen Ramsey.
No.
I don't think Ramsey wasn't on the team.
No, he was at Jacksonville then.
He was still at Jacksonville then.
Yeah, let me think.
I don't think it was Aqib Talib.
That was clearly pass interference in that.
Was it Marcus?
Nope.
Not Mark.
He went from the Rams to the
Lions.
Marcus
Peterson. You said he played on the Rams, though, Marcus Peterson, on that team.
Yeah, but this guy played for the Rams because that was his rookie contract. At the end of his rookie contract, he came and played for the Lions.
Oh, in that trade.
Is it Dre Black?
It is not Dre Black.
Okay,
we're
so he's
talking
on the
2018,
Lions now.
not 1998.
So he's on the Lions now.
No, he's now a free agent. He was not a part of that trade. He got here when we still had Matt Patricia.
Was it the Roby Coleman guy?
That's it.
Nickel Roby Coleman, yes.
Roby
Coleman. He
Coleman.
played for the Bills, too. Nickel Roby Coleman.
Yeah, after he left the Lions, he played for the Bills, and now he's a free agent.
Yep.
I just had to throw the one that had a tie into the Lions and the Bills all at once in there. I was like, this is a good one.
Right?
Yeah.
Adam, do you have any for me?
Listen, I'm not real good at this trivia stuff when I'm not prepared.
My dad wants me to ask this question. Who is the only QB to win an NCAA Division I championship ring and then receive a Super Bowl ring his rookie season? Now, he did not play. All I can say is he was a backup. He was not a starter.
Was it Bubby Brister?
No.
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 No. I've got a good one, but nah, it wouldn't be him because he was.
What?
To win an
Go ahead and guess.
NCAA.
Go ahead and guess.
No, I know it wouldn't. I know it wouldn't him.
I'd tell you what team he packed up for, but that would give it away because they haven't won many.
What did he go to college?
I can't give that. That's a dead giveaway.
Scott Mitchell.
No, not Scott Mitchell.
Hold on, I'm going way back. How far back do I have to go?
Around the time you were born. Because you said you were born at the Cowboy Bills Super Bowl. And we know the Cowboys won that in '96. So it's after that, but before 2000. 1997 national championship, the one that was shared between three teams. So I'll give you the three teams. Nebraska, Michigan.
It was Brian Greasy.
It is Brian Greasy. Very good.
Brian Greasy, yep.
He was the
he backed up John Elway.
Yep.
Oh, gosh.
Was that the year Bubby Brister won one too?
Was that when he was with Nebraska?
No,
that
with John Elway.
That would have been the year Davison caught that crazy pass again. Tate Davison caught the crazy pass against Missouri.
Wasn't that Nebraska, Michigan, and Tennessee that all tied because they were all undefeated at the end of the season for that one?
Nebraska beat Tennessee in Miami. Michigan beat
USC in the Rose Bowl.
Arizona.
Was it Arizona State? I thought it was USC.
No, it would have been Washington State in the Rose Bowl with Ryan Leaf.
Yeah.
And the year before was when Ohio State actually knocked Arizona State from a national championship with in Pasadena.
Was that when Maurice Blatt ran all over him? I think it was. Whatever.
No, that would have been 2002 when Maurice Clarett and Ohio State beat Miami and Tempe. Why I know that is beyond me.
Congratulations to Ohio State Buckeyes. Even though I hate them, they're the national champions.
How happy was Nick Bosa yesterday?
How happy was LeBron?
That's a rhetorical question. He was very happy.
Who was?
LeBron James.
LeBron never went to Ohio State, so why does it matter?
Because he's from Ohio.
I know, but guess where he had, if he didn't want to go pro and he went to college, guess where his scholarship was for? Notre Dame.
Really?
Yeah, he'd have been a Notre Dame guy.
Oh.
He turned down Ohio State for Notre Dame on commitment day, and then decided to go pro.
All acting. But anyway, I was just happy for Nick Bosa finally. I don't know why.
Yeah, Nick and Joey is happy.
Dancing all day long. You know what I'm saying?
He's dancing with the stranger.
Yeah, the only thing that Ohio State was happy for is that Michigan didn't make the playoffs because they can't beat them.
They don't give a damn for the whole state of Michigan. The whole state.
So does this keep Ryan Day's job?
It does. It does. He's going to be back next year, so Michigan will still be his daddy.
No, here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen.
68-5.
Ohio State for the start 2025 will be 1-2.
Wait, what'd you say?
Oh, where's Michigan Daddy? We had one last year, remember? We went undefeated. We didn't lose to you.
Well, I don't think Nebraska lost that year. They won the Big 12.
Yeah, I agree, Dad. Days were just Dave blows chunks versus Michigan again. Yep.
And next year I think next year it's at the Big House, right?
It is at the Big House.
Now, Jeremy, will you go down to that game?
If I can get tickets, I'm going, yeah.
How far is Michigan from you?
It takes about an hour and a half to get down there.
Ann Arbor, yeah.
I've never been.
Nice.
there, so I
You
don't know
know
anything
what
about
my Ohio State friends call Michigan? The team up north.
The team of what?
The
The
team,
team
up
up
north.
north.
No, you must have a lot of Ohio fans.
And Ohio, you know what Ohio State fans used to actually sing when they played the Michigan fight song? They used to say the cesspool of the West. Back in the
Joey
day, they did.
Busto. How you doing, buddy?
Huh?
In the chat there.
Hey, that's it. Isn't that the Eagles guy?
Yes, it is.
That's the guy that
Fly,
came on.
fly.
So just to let you guys know, Joey came on the show last week after you two bailed. We went for
Yeah.
like another hour and a
Dylan
half.
didn't say a word. He just fucking bolted.
All right, I'm all calm now. I
He
love
was like,
doing this.
okay, I'm out. We were
With
talking.
Sierra,
Greg,
I'm
Joey,
He
out.
I'm
asked you
gonna
a
say
question.
congratulations to your team making it to the conference final.
Yep.
Dude, he was really good, man. I wasn't ready for all that, but that was cool.
I've got one for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Who was the last Kansas City Chief quarterback to start on Championship Sunday not named Patrick Mahomes?
Who? Joe Montana?
Dadgummit.
He got it first try, huh?
Against the Bills.
Joey, get ready to check your email.
I was thinking
just
Alex
sent you the
Smith.
link.
I was with Joe. I was with Joey on this one. I was thinking Alex Smith.
Chiefs never made it to the title game with Alex Smith.
Right.
They got to a division
Right.
round.
That's why I didn't say it. I just said the first quarterback that popped into my mind.
Ooh, I got.
So I stumped you, Dylan.
He did.
Well, do you have any questions for me, Adam?
All I know is, Jamie, congratulations, your team advanced. You're the only one that gets to say that out of those of us here.
Unless Joey's
Dylan-
jumping in.
Dylan was sitting on the couch next to the Bears watching the playoffs first week.
Hey,
So was I.
hey, but
I'm
by
not
the
wrong.
way,
That's not even a dig. It's a factual statement.
by the way, I will
He's
say
rocking
this.
an awesome American flag in the background.
By the way, I'll say this. At least the Jaguars have some of the prettiest
Jesus
cheerleaders
Christ.
in football.
Jesus. Look at that question.
What'd you say?
Wow, that had to be
Oh,
what,
no.
1960 something,
Was
right?
that Dawson? Len Dawson?
Len Dawson,
Oh,
yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to wait for an answer from James.
Yeah, that was Len Dawson at the third or fourth Super Bowl when he played against the Packers. He was having a smoke at halftime.
Hank Stram, keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys.
And
The guy
you know
was not
what?
very good with the English language.
Here's a funny thing. The World Championship is only called the Super Bowl because Hank Stram couldn't say Super Bowl when talking about his kid buying one of those little nickel things out of the gumball machine.
Well, no. Also, what about what about the current owner when he was a kid and he played with the Super Bowl? Remember?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Hank Stram was talking.
No,
about
it was Hunt, the owner. Was Hunt.
Oh, was it Hunt? Okay, either way, it was one of them guys from KC that actually came up with the name Super Bowl, and it was an accident because they mispronounced Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Who was the first Big Ten quarterback to play in the NFL? Hint: he didn't play.
Oh, Braxton Miller.
I was thinking Eric Crouch, but he never made it to the NFL. Never made it to the game.
I want to say it was Art Schuster.
Art Schuster?
Oh, Sleester?
Sleester, yeah. Yeah, it was Hunt, the owner.
I see that.
I think it was
Braxton Miller. Braxton Miller didn't play quarterback in the NFL.
No, actually, who would have been?
Terrell
Sleester
was OSU.
Yeah, but we're from the Big Ten, so you gotta remember that one too.
By the way,
and that is Big Ten.
I've got a trivia question for you. What Big Ten quarterback did the Cleveland Browns take for the pick they got
Ooh, Rex.
in training Paul Warfield in like 1970.
Who?
What?
I'll give you a hint. He's a Big Ten quarterback.
Big Ten quarterback. What? 1970?
I think 69 or 70. Helped the Dolphins win 2 Super Bowls.
Bob
Greasy.
Greasy?
Well, excuse me. This trade helped the Dolphins win 2 Super Bowls. The guy who Cleveland drafted sucked.
Earl Morrell.
No, I think his name is Mike Fitz.
No, because the reason why I said
bring
what I
Joe
said
in.
is because Earl Morrell was also there. He is the man, the myth, the legend in his own mind. Joey
You see what my caption says?
What's up, Joey?
Only
What's
team
going on?
still standing. No, the Bills are in. Jamie's here.
Oh, I forgot. What's going on, buddy?
Rudy
Going
from
on,
Notre
Joe?
Never
Rudy
was
from
in the Big
Notre
Ten.
Dame. Hey, we had Dan on before.
There's a
We
reason
had
why
Dan
I
on
said
before
I.
too, didn't we?
Oh, he played
Was
strong.
that Dan we had
strong
on
three.
before, Jim?
Who? Don? You mean?
Didn't we have Dan on before?
Not it.
No.
Don, you mean not Dan?
What's that?
That's Don.
His name's Don, not Dan.
Dawn. Sorry.
Yeah.
Art Schlichter did play quarterback in the NFL, just not for very long. LOL.
Gotcha.
So Jeremy had me in their Detroit Lion podcast, and I was like, I almost felt like I was in enemy territory.
Hey, but we didn't treat you bad.
No, they were
I
respectful.
was at his podcast too, Joey. Nice to meet you. I'm Jamie.
Yeah, we were here last week, right? Or week before?
The last week we were here.
Yeah, it was only us three though. The other two bailed out.
Yeah,
I had
Jamie
to
had to
go
leave
'cause
early.
I had to go because it was getting late. But
Yeah, I feel you.
yeah,
But yeah,
So, are you worried about Jalen Hurts not being able to throw for a lot of yards? Because this was the topic earlier, Joe, before you popped on.
I think it's all depending on how the run game's looking. If they're able to take the outside edges from us, and we're not good running up the middle, we can't run between the tackles.
I don't think you have to worry so much about Hurts throwing. I'm concerned about the running because I was watching the game, and then, like I said, they said he couldn't move on his leg, and he had a brace on his leg, and I thought they were gonna take him out the more he was gonna get sacked. But
No, so I think it was just something small because they're not reporting on it, not really saying much. They're saying he's sore right now, and if you've seen directly after that play when he finally came back out after them putting the ball away and stuff, he rolled out to his left, which he's a right-handed quarterback, and roll out to your left is a lot harder because you're going like this and you're having to turn with your body than just running straight out to your right. So he turned around and he rolled out and then threw with like a 12-yard pass on a cutback route to AJ. So I mean, I'm not too worried about it. I think he's just sore. I think they're just taking precautions. To be honest, I was more worried about Quinyon Mitchell.
You guys were talking about that, and there was a question asked in the chat, and I was trying to answer it before he put it in there, and I knew the answer because he goes, "What Detroit Lions started the fight that tore up the Lindell AC bar?" And it was Alex Harris, also known as Mongo, from Blazing Candle.
That's awesome.
And also the dad of Webster from the TV show.
What you talking about?
One plus.
Not Willis, Webster.
Oh yeah, it was Willis. My bad.
But no, as far as them passing wise, they're all right. I'm not expecting to do what he did. If they make it to the Super Bowl, I'm not expecting them to say, "Hey, Jalen, we need you to throw for 4 touchdowns and another 350 yards in this game." I mean,
frankly, how do you think the Eagles defend Jane Daniels? Because even though the Eagles have played Jane Daniels twice, I have not seen a rookie quarterback in on this heater in a long time.
I call him Big Game Jaden Daniels. He was just you can't coach his natural ability to just win big games. That's what he did at LSU, and he's done it all his rookie year so far, and it's carried into the playoffs. So
And
what do you think? What do you really think about that?
If he'd have had a better team around him, he'd have did it at Arizona State. Let's be real. He had put up good numbers at Arizona State. They just had a crap team.
Yeah.
And then he transferred, and then the coach got fired, and then they brought in Kenny Dillingham.
Could you imagine when Daniels playing with Scatterboo?
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
That would have been dangerous.
So I mean, the best thing for them to do is, I think you have to play a mixture between. I think you have your corners play man, and then you have your linebackers playing zone along with the safeties. But I also think you have to keep a spy there because he's known to take off out of pocket.
Oh, it's funny because James Burgess brought up Alex Karras, and I want to bring this to you. Do you know why he wasn't put in the Hall of Fame till posthumously?
Till when?
Didn't Alex
Till after he
Karras
died. Till after he died.
Didn't Alex
So it's gonna be like
Karras
Pete Rose.
get busted for gambling?
Him and a linebacker from Green Bay ran their own NFL gambling ring, and both of them were suspended for a year. So they had a lifetime ban from the Hall of Fame. He passed away 5 years later. He's put in.
Do you
Same
feel
thing
that's
will
what's
happen
going to happen
to
to
Pete
Pete Rose?
I have the same. I think that's the exact same thing that happens with Pete Rose. 5 years after his death, he'll be finally put into the Hall of Fame only as a player, not as a manager.
I hope so. I feel he's one of the greatest players probably in the game.
He still is the greatest player to ever play the game.
I mean, the guy's batting average is insane.
Right.
And more hits than any other batter
And
in Major League history.
By the way, speaking of Hall of Fame, congratulations to Ichiro, CC Sabathia, and Billy Wagner for being inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame tonight.
Yes. Billy
CC
Wagner, left-handed closer. The Mets.
Ichiro, the first Japanese-born player inducted in the Hall of Fame. CC Sabathia, one of only 3 lefties with 3,000 strikeouts. The other two, Steve Coleman and Randy Johnson, and Billy Wagner, for his time, one of the nastiest relief aces in baseball.
Mariano?
I just remember him blowing a 4-1 lead against the Yankees, and then the Yankees ended up winning the game.
It's the Yankees.
Yeah, but Billy Wagner still.
Denny McLain had that issue, and then on top of that, later on went to jail for embezzlement after he retired from baseball, and that is why Denny McLain is still not in.
These guys got some Italian connections or something. I'm just saying. What's going on right here?
There's some paisans, I tell you.
Yeah, Babu, what's going on here? Dog food in the fridge. It's not dog food. It's fresh. If anybody asks, you at grandma's.
Yeah, I still wish my buddy. He's shorter than me, but he's built like a linebacker. I think I told you the story, Joey. I had an ex who was having trouble with the boyfriends of her daughter.
An Italian football coach. We're gonna.
And we walked in. And I go, "Hey, Vinny, get the bat." And here comes this guy built like an NFL linebacker, but he wasn't one because he had injuries. And he goes, "What do you want me to do, boss?"
Right.
Slapping the bat in his hand.
That's awesome.
What?
It was this Italian coach
wearing a black leather trench coat on top of it. It all fit. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, at this point, to be a member of Philadelphia Eagles coaching staff, I feel like you have to take the oath of emeritus at this point. I mean, between Sirianni and Big Dom, pretty sure Dom has connections in South Philly.
I've decided my daily show is going to go live daily. Because if NFL news breaks, anytime during the season. It happens between that 11 and 1 o'clock hour, and I usually get to break it pretty much almost as soon as it happens. And
Yeah.
Where does
still-
T. Higgins go next year?
Ooh.
you know where I think the perfect fit for him is, and as much as I hate to say it, it's in my division. It's Green Bay.
Mm.
It's
Oh my
the
God,
perfect
dude.
fit. You put him with all those number 2 wide receivers they got, because that's what they got. They got a whole plethora of number 2 wide receivers,
Christian
and they
Watson.
found
Well, they
out
got
this
one
year.
that can't even stand on his own 2 feet without breaking a fucking
Well,
kneecap.
he won't play all next season because he blew out his ACL and had some other ligament
Who are you
damage.
guys talking about for
Christian
Green Bay?
Watson,
Christian
T. Higgins,
Watson.
Oh.
T. Higgins, but Christian Watson won't even be able to play next year. He's considered out for 52 weeks, so he's going to miss his whole 4th year.
Yeah.
And yep,
Yeah.
and Dad says yes.
Big.
McLean had gambling issues, and as a matter of fact, he hung out at the Shorthorn restaurant in Flint, hung out with his mob buddies. But I will say, I have an autographed baseball by McLean.
So, I mean, that is the top wide receiver. Wouldn't you guys all agree?
Christian
Who?
Watson.
Yeah. No, T. Higgins.
No, T.
Oh,
Higgins.
T.
That's probably the top choice, unless they decide to just cut ties because it's the year that Miami can do it. I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody's going to trade for the diva
Yeah.
that has
Yeah.
more kids than Carter has liver pills. in Tyreek Hill.
I think one team will trade for Tyreek Hill, New England.
I don't think they'll have to, is what I'm saying. Why give up the draft capital?
Yeah.
I
They're
think by
young
the,
as it is.
And
if you
you know
don't
what?
if you don't
They're
give up
trying
the
to-
draft capital, the amount of money it saves them to cut him after June 1st is tremendous.
Well, New England's
If
got 125 million in cap.
No. I'm talking about Miami. I'm not talking about New England's cap. I'm talking about Miami's cap.
By the way, Joey, I'm willing to make a wager with Adam that the Patriots win more games than the Steelers next year.
Ooh. I don't think
Like
so.
Joey's not going to accept that shit.
I don't think so. I mean, I'm a Pittsburgh guy, but
I am so.
I am
pumped.
not making any bets and not making any predictions until I see the schedule.
So wait a minute. You guys all laughed at me when I said the 49ers would miss the playoffs. What happened?
I didn't laugh at you. You know why? Because I said the same thing on my show. Joey went back and watched my stuff.
You
did.
also said Notre Dame would make it to the national championship game too.
And I said Washington would win the NFC East. Well, they made the playoffs.
They made the playoffs. They didn't win it.
Hey, they still might win the NFC East. And the whole NFC if they
no,
win
no,
on
no.
Sunday night.
The division champion is the Eagles. That's done. You can't say they won the NFC East. That's a crazy crock of crap.
Well,
Both seasons
Ohio
separate.
State didn't even make the Big Ten championship and then won the whole thing. That means the Big Ten and national champs.
Right.
It's different.
There were 4 teams from the Big Ten in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, with that whole merger, the Big Ten just got insanely,
Big.
big. Yeah, I didn't know what the word to go with.
It is
I
now.
didn't want to say the same word at the same time.
Hey, last season there was 2 teams in the Pac-12, so I called it the 2-pack.
Yeah. Yep.
I see you giggle at that.
That was a pack of Twinkies right there for sure.
Yeah. Congrats
Absolutely.
to Oregon State for winning.
Pack of Twinkies.
Who was it? Wasn't Wisconsin? Who was the one team that came out of Big Ten and did all right this year? Was it Wisconsin?
No. Penn State.
Penn State. Yeah.
I thought there was another team.
Oregon?
Oregon. Yeah.
Oregon, yep. That's who played Ohio State to see who went to the national championship.
Yeah, Oregon coming over. That's crazy. That's a big team to come.
Indiana was the one that came out of nowhere and made the
Indiana,
playoff.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they were Oregon by Ohio State.
And
That's a corny joke, but
Yeah, it was. I almost laughed.
You chuckled.
Yeah.
So
that's
you
it, I
guys
chuckled.
seen all these memes with the Patrick Mahomes, can't touch me, and from the Texans, all them guys doing post conferences around about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, it got dicey for Ohio State for a second in that third and fourth quarter because Notre Dame started to come back. You tell
That
me
was
it didn't get dicey. You tell me that wasn't dicey, Joey.
It was scary. My butthole was definitely puckered up. I'm not gonna lie.
Dicey to have
I don't
like,
have-
oh shit.
I don't have cable, so I couldn't even watch it.
We actually, when AG gets hired as a head coach, the Lions get two third-round comp picks for that.
Yeah, that is such a great thing to do for the teams now.
Isn't it one for a non-minority coach and two for a minority coach when they're hired from?
Yeah, there's a
coordinator to-
minority. Yeah. Yep.
You get the minority boost, so we'll actually end up in 2026 with 3 third-round compensatory picks,
Yeah.
What team?
and that's enough to move up for the Lions.
Oh, really?
Oh my goodness. You guys want to hear something funny? So the other day, this guy swore he knew the Eagles better than I did. Trying to tell me, all drunk, trying to tell me that we're going to lose Vic Fangio. I said, what are you talking about? Vic Fangio is already in the 70s and he's talking about retiring. He wants to finish here because he's from here and go. I said, it's Kellen Moore that's being interviewed for other positions. And this guy was swearing up and down, and it was just really belligerent. I got to the point where I was just like, bro, I'm done with you. I'm done.
James Burgess, you don't get any third-round pick this year. Not for the coaches. We're getting a third-round compensatory pick from the player that we didn't re-sign that was a rookie. That's what we're getting that third-round compensatory pick for. It was for Jonah Jackson because he was signed as a starter for the Rams at $19.3 million per year. Great job. He ended up riding the bench over half the season. He did so good there.
Yeah. Jared Verse wouldn't bet his game check on the game either. Jalen Carter walked up to him and he said, yo, you will put your game check up? And he was like, mine's bigger than yours. I'll put mine up because, he was the first overall pick for the Eagles in the first round. So
I could not believe the Eagles got Jalen Carter. I'm like, how did I get the best player in this draft? That's just dumb.
it's because everybody else let him go because of that street racing thing. Philly were a second chance team. Well,
it was more than the street racing thing. It had to do with him walking away from a teammate that passed away.
Oh, yeah.
That's what
that was it. He didn't go to the funeral or something, right?
No, he walked away from the accident where his teammate
The accident. Yeah.
How big was Cooper DeJean?
Cooper was great. I said he'd be great. I think he's still developing. I think he's not quite there as an NFL prospect, but he's good. He's damn good. That's what I'll say.
That's our man Cooper DeJean. So we call him out here. We don't say DeJean. That's Cooper DeJean.
I lost a fantasy bet. I bet I would make the playoffs, and I lost, and I had to buy this kid a Cooper DeJean jersey. So now all of a sudden I bought the jersey, so now I'm like, I better pay a little more attention, see who he is. Yeah, I was highly damn impressed. I was not paying attention to the Eagles defense at all, to be honest.
Nobody.
And I was highly impressed whenever I started paying attention. So I'm a late bloomer on this guy, but I like him.
But I'm one of those Max Preps guys that pays attention to the college recruits coming out of high school. And one of the things I knew about Cooper going into Iowa is he wasn't just Mr. Football or Mr. Basketball or Mr. Baseball. He was Mr. All-State.
Yeah.
In other words,
Joe Mauer.
he played in 4 sports
Yep.
and was the best in all 4 sports in the state.
Yep. What was it? It was football, basketball.
Joe Mauer did the same thing,
track.
didn't he? Well, he only had basketball and baseball.
No, because he
and
played
football.
baseball. The other one, I think, it was one of those intermediate ones that happens like in between winter and spring before baseball happens. Is it cross country was the other one, right?
Who, Joe Mauer?
No, I'm talking about Cooper. I think it was cross country was the other one because he couldn't
I-
do regular track at the same time as baseball.
Yeah, because they do.
It was cross country.
I
Yeah.
have no idea. Like I said, I just heard about this guy, and now I pay attention a little more.
But his senior year at Iowa, he was returning punts, and you know how In order to do a fair catch, your hand's supposed to go over your head and go side to side, right?
Mhm.
Right.
When you're doing the one below your waist, that's you directing your blockers, right?
Right. Yep.
He did that in a game, and he returned a kick for a punt for a touchdown, and they called it back because they said he called a fair catch.
I did not see that. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that now.
Oh, it was a big deal because Iowa ended up losing that game. It was a very big deal because they were so upset because it was a fourth quarter punt return for a touchdown, like either a 90 or a 96-yard one.
Mm.
Damn.
I'm not exactly sure, but wasn't his average like 30 yards return in college on the kick?
It was
return?
either 28.9 or it was 30.2. I can't
Yeah.
remember which. It was up there.
Like that's crazy. That's insane.
All right,
Good
man.
Yeah, Joe. It's like I wish I kind of like would have liked to have known about this guy before I did the IDP draft. I might have drafted him.
Yeah, I mean they were saying when he was coming out there, like this guy can play any position on the defensive side of the ball you put him on. There's like
So-
the only thing he doesn't have is size, but if you put him
Like,
in anywhere in the secondary, he can stay.
I went to
I
look
have
for
to
him
ask-
and I was like, damn it, someone already got him.
I have to ask, if you're the New York Jets, are you hiring Aaron Glenn, who hasn't been a head coach yet, but has that mentality in his speeches that sounds like a head coach?
I'm trading
Are you
Garrett
gonna-
Wilson in the second round for Mike Tomlin.
That's what you want, but that ain't happening. But let me be realistic here. They interviewed Arthur Smith and Aaron Glenn. Which one are you hiring if you're the GM of the Jets?
Well, they just had a defensive minded coach and it didn't do really well for them as a head coach. So
That wasn't
Yeah.
Salah's fault. That bringing in Rodgers was the reason why, not Salah.
I think I'll have to go Arthur Smith.
Yeah, I would say Arthur.
Oh, you just want him
And-
off
and-
the team.
And
I would say Arthur.
no, I think Tomlin wants him off the team because Tomlin doesn't like having coaches that are higher than him.
Mm.
And we just
think
talked
Arthur-
about this.
But
We
Arthur
just
Smith
talked
is a
about
bad
this.
head coach already. He was a bad head
Right, but
coach
we just-
already. Awful head coach.
Wait, let me see.
I would rather take the chance on somebody who didn't fail yet than go for somebody who's been a failure. That's just
Right.
me.
See, and that's like the difference between like the Steelers fired Tomlin. Tomlin, the door would be lined through the ass. Everyone would want that job.
Right.
We're talking about the Jets, and we're talking about who would you go get.
Yeah, but I'm talking about out of the two they interviewed. If you think about it realistically, are you taking the guy who failed as a head coach twice now? Or are you taking the guy that hasn't been a head coach yet, but has taken a team to the playoffs twice as a defensive coordinator? Which one would you take?
I think Aaron Glenn would rather go to Dallas.
Exactly. That's what
I don't think he wants anything to do with Dallas because he doesn't want to deal with Jerry. It has nothing to do with what Jerry
But
wants.
he
It
might
has
want to
do
deal with
Aaron Glenn.
Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
He might want to deal with Micah Parsons.
He
and
was the
Diggs.
reason why the Lions didn't draft Parsons.
If Tomlin leaves, I could see him going to Dallas. Actually,
He said in his interview he heard something in the interview he didn't like.
Mm.
Who, Tomlin?
Yeah,
That was-
Joey.
No, Aaron Glenn. When we went to the draft in 2021 and Parsons was there, we had our choice. We could have taken Parsons or Sewell. Aaron Glenn said he didn't want Parsons.
Wow.
And you know what? If I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I trade Mike Parsons tomorrow.
Why?
Oh, I
You get him cheap on the 5th-year option. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? That makes no sense. You could get him
I
for
think
the
Mike-
5th-year option.
They're already in cap hell.
I
Yeah.
think
Okay.
the Cowboys have waited way too long to pay Dak. They've spent way too much money on the quarterback. How the heck can the Eagles afford Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert, all those offensive linemen? Oh yeah,
You know-
and all those defensive players too.
Because they're already paid.
Yep.
Do you want to know how it is? It's called creative accounting. Having
Yep.
a good accountant that takes care of the financial side of things. That's not the
Yep.
coach. That's not the GM. You get
For
one
sure.
of those guys like what we have here in Mike Dunstall. Yeah,
By the way,
I agree there, Don Burr.
by the way, I'm thinking about becoming an accountant, Jeremy, because I'm the one journalist who likes math. And I'm taking intro to financial accounting, so I'm learning all the equity, liability, the credit, debit.
Oh, let's see. They just resigned the AJ Brown. They already re-signed Jalen. They just signed Saquon to what was that? 3 years at 13?
Saquon was 3 years for 27 million. And I think what they gave like 14 or 15 guaranteed. So, and then they extended Devontae and AJ this year, and they just gave,
Yeah, and
Hurt.
Don Burr,
Don't
the
expect
only
Hurt.
guy out there that I think that could replace Hank Fraley is Scott Linehan. That's just my personal opinion. That he's that good of an offensive line coach. He's not that good of an offensive coordinator. He's bounced around a little bit. I think that's somebody you could get to come in, and because he has a similar zone blocking scheme to what Hank Fraley has, and you could pop him right back in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, Jameer's going to
Fraley,
cost
wasn't
us
he
10
the
to
lineman?
13.
I think you guys need one offensive lineman in the draft coming up for sure.
Well, Christian Mahogany stepped right in for Zietler, and I think he's the one that's leaving. Everybody else said they're coming back.
Yeah.
You can keep Christian Mahogany. You can swap him over for Graham Glasgow because we already have Graham Glasgow and put him back at. Yep, Scott was in Detroit before. The only year we had a good O-line in front of Matt Stafford when we had a good success.
By the way, Jeremy, if I were Brad Holmes, this is what I do. I draft everyone on defense.
Well, you're missing the point here. You say that, but I don't think the defense is as bad because everybody's coming back. You got Hutch coming back.
But
Darius Smith is
coaches are going to be gone.
Will you let me talk? You asked something and I was trying to give you the answer. Darius Smith is coming back. Aiden Hutchinson will be healthy. You got Rodrigo coming back. You got Barnes, who may get re-signed on a cheap deal because he just got hurt. You can get him at a vet minimum because he's not going to get very much offered anywhere else because of the injury he had. And that shores up most of it there. And you could probably even re-sign Carlton Davis. But I personally think we should go through the draft and get another corner and develop.
I was just going to say that, yep.
I almost would go in the first round. I would go with either the best defensive lineman at defensive end or
what pick are you,
your
Joe?
eventual. We're going to, let's see, we lost in the divisional round. So we're going to be, no, not even. Well, yeah, because we were the highest seeded one that lost, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be 28. So that kid from Texas A&M is who I like. I think his name is Stewart, 6'5", 178. I think he'll be there.
I mean, I know we're looking at draft already, but it's way too early, I think. But they're out there; they're already talking about it.
Right. Oh, yeah. When you're sitting on the couch at home, that's what you do for your team. You start looking at the draft. You start looking at prospects. You start analyzing.
Like you can look at the ESPN ticker, and all the time it's saying so and so is declaring for the NFL draft already. Like
right. I mean, it started happening before the playoffs even began. Look at Miami. That's one of the reasons why they didn't make the playoffs with a better record than Alabama to begin with before the conference championship week is because half their team declared for the draft that was eligible.
Right.
So they knew that these kids weren't going to play.
Right.
The 6'7" guy plays for Arkansas, James. I can't remember his name either, but he's 6'7" and 287 defensive end.
That's a big boy.
Yeah. And he has a motor with a
That's
good
a defensive
step.
tackle size for
Yeah,
real.
but he plays defensive end and has great bend.
Landon Jackson.
Is that him, the guy I'm talking about?
Yes.
Landon Jackson? Yeah.
Yeah, to be that tall, you got to be fast because
and you got to have a good bend. You can't have a bad bend at that height.
Yep.
So he has an elite bend and a great get off.
Right. Because I would say on the defensive line, defensive ends probably have to be the faster between them and the tackles. I would say, because you have more ground to cover between you and, the offensive tackle.
And Aleem will probably be ready by week 4 as far as coming back from his injury, and that's at the earliest, more than likely by week 7. That would be my prediction right now, but that's way too early prediction.
So if the Steelers put Pickens on the line, what would they get for him?
Ooh.
Right. James Burgess, you can't coach size. 6'7" is ridiculous. How many batted passes could he get? That means if he reaches his hand on his tippy toes, he's at a 10-foot rim at the goal line, at the line of scrimmage.
That's what size Mekhi Becton is, and we got him as a guard.
Right.
He's playing guard.
Who needs to be extended if you're going to keep him?
Oh my God, yes. Yes, he came in and filled that.
Because everybody was talking like, "Oh, Mekhi Becton's the guy I want to bring in."
Yeah. When it comes to Pickens, I think you're gonna get obviously multiple picks. I think the highest you might get is maybe like high 3rd. To be honest, I mean, because he's asking how much they would get for Pickens if they were to trade him.
Pickens, I say late 2nd, high 3rd. You might get a late 2nd out of a really needy team. And you know who you get it from? The Chiefs.
Yeah, they're always in need of receivers.
Honestly, I think Pickens might be more a 3rd, 4th round pick at that. Nobody would give him the 2nd. Not with that.
As desperate as the Chiefs is for wide receiver talent, they would give the last, if they win the Super Bowl, the last pick in the 2nd round, they'd give it to get Pickens.
No, I think if Kansas City makes a
why?
trade,
Why would the Chiefs need him? They're gonna get Rice back. They got Hollywood. They got.
There's no one guarantee you get
but
Rice back.
D-Hop, unless he signs back,
his court case is in the offseason for that multi-car pileup. He might be going to jail for 5 years.
Oh, they finally gonna do something about it.
The court case was postponed until after the season.
Oh yeah, they told him that after the season we'll pick this back up.
Roger says, "Go Bills, 100%." Hey, I would love to see the Bills get to the Super Bowl.
There you go, Jim. You got some fans out there.
Anybody but the Chiefs, and the only team that can beat them now is the Bills. So I got to be a Bills fan.
Tell them we don't want to see. Tell them I don't care if it's Raven fan, Chief fan, Jaguar fan, Bill fan, Lion fan, Steeler fan. We don't want the bleeping Chiefs in New Orleans. We don't want that blonde singer dating a piece of crap tight end winning another Super Bowl.
Josh McNally, Bills are America's team. For now, yeah. Everybody wants them to win, other than the Swiftie fans.
Oh, gosh. Don't say her name, please. Don't say her name. Otherwise, I'm going to... Otherwise, you should have said no.
Yes, he does, Roger.
I like seeing a part of history.
Oh.
Oh no.
Hey, I'll tell you what I said about Taylor Swift. And
Wait, Jeremy, can I say something?
No, you're gonna love it.
Skid Rock would say, "I was born free."
Right, that may be, but I have a nickname for Taylor Swift. It's called a Carpenter's Nightmare because she's flat as a board and warped.
What?
You heard me.
Oh yeah, Taylor got nothing on Haley. They call her the Queen of Buffalo now.
Yeah. Who? Hakua girl, Haley?
No, Haley Steinfeld.
Haley. Yeah,
she was on.
I thought you were talking about that.
Is
Haley,
this Jerry's daughter or what?
No, her name is Steinfeld. The other one is Seinfeld.
I don't even know who this Haley girl is. I thought we were talking about the Hawk too.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Roger.
You were.
She was on.
Haley.
You remember that singing movie that was out? Like They had 3 of them joints, and
It's
it was all the girls,
perfect.
and they had Amy, the fat girl Amy, in it.
It's perfect.
I forget what it's called.
Yeah,
Pitch
Pitch Perfect.
Perfect.
It's perfect. Yep.
The 2 and
She was
3
there.
she wasn't in the first one.
Yeah.
Pitch Perfect. What movie was that? The Clint Eastwood thing?
No, the cup
No.
song with Anna Kendrick, where she stacked the cups and
Anna
sang When
Kendrick.
I'm Gone.
I'm not good with movies, guys. I barely watch them.
You for the long way down, and now I'm headed
Whoa.
for
Bottle of whiskey
train.
for the way.
Did anyone
Would like some sweet company.
was the funniest commercial when they had the castaway guy return the shit to the person?
No, the funniest commercial ever was
No,
the Bud
no.
Light commercial, the Magic Fridge in the Super Bowl.
And then
Oh,
when
no,
Tom
it
Hanks
was-
or
it was after.
Or
when they
Rock
have him
Band.
open it, there's a
The
beacon
Bud
in
Light,
it.
the guy throws a rock at
Oh,
him.
that's funny.
No. The
Huh?
best and funniest commercial
What?
ever happened right after Justin Timberlake exposed Janet Jackson's titty at halftime. It
That
was
was
the
amazing.
Bud Light commercial with the horse-drawn carriage, and the guy's on a date with his girlfriend, and he hands her a candle and goes down to bend into the cooler to grab 2 more Bud Light. The horse lifts the tail and farts, and all you hear is a flamethrower. They go back, and she looks like she had the burst from the fart go through the candle into her face. Go watch it. Just look it up. Just put in Bud Light horse fart on YouTube, and you'll see.
You know what?
It's
I might actually do a stream on funny Super Bowl commercials.
I thought
That's
I thought the other one wasn't funny, but I mean it was good. It was the one where the kid was dressed up like Darth Vader, and he was the dad was playing with the buttons on the car.
Yes.
I thought that was a good one.
Yeah, with the Volkswagen one, I think it was. Was that
Yeah.
Volkswagen or BMW? I think it was Volkswagen.
I'm not sure. I forget. But I thought that was a good commercial.
Ryan is smoking bowls again. Yeah, that was good. I knew what you meant, James.
Yeah.
Somebody's after Milt Williams.
I know one guy already made. I already know one guy made a great thing. We know why Ben Johnson went to Chicago. He gets his time off starting in January now.
Wow, low blow.
I thought it was hilarious. I saw that
What did
meme.
you say?
I said, we all know why Ben Johnson went to Chicago. He gets time off starting in January.
Yep.
Every year, baby.
I'm not a Caleb Williams fan, so that's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, I don't think he's a good dude at all. I think he's just. To be honest, I think he's a terrible person, and that's the nice.
Guys, I think I'm gonna bail. Thanks. See me, Spunky Spectrum Sports Big D podcast. Probably do something after all the games. Hopefully, we don't have overtime games like that. Okay, who's meowing?
Remember to bring out your fucking
didn't
electric
meow, I
blankets,
said,
Jamie, because
yeah.
it's fucking 80 degrees
Hey,
in your neck of the
This
woods.
just in, I found the theme music for the Jaguars front office.
There's no woman. I don't have a woman with me, so I can't be out. Dylan, I don't have a
Now
woman.
that
no.
one's funny, and you know it, Dylan.
Hey, Jeremy, you can't talk about the Jags anymore. Remember?
Yes, I can.
Hey, wait a minute. So,
Yeah, what I missed.
Adam, what happened when Blake Bortles and wait, the Jacks are 2-0?
Taylor meowing.
Who?
The Jacks
Roger
are
wrote that
2-0
was that
against
Taylor
the Steelers in
meowing.
the playoffs.
Against who in the playoffs?
Steelers.
I'm not a Steelers fan.
I know you beat us 45-42 because I'm not sure why. Leonard Fournette had a huge day. I don't know. It was another Mike
I
Tomlin
don't-
debacle.
It wasn't
I
Blake
don't
Bortles
think this
doing
looks
anything.
black and gold. Does this look black and gold to you guys? Does that look black and gold?
Black and blue.
That's right.
We called heads. We called heads in overtime, all right?
Heads never win and tails never fails.
So funny.
The Jerome Bettis incident.
What? Oh yeah. It's
I called heads.
Oh,
I really don't.
Heads
no,
I
he didn't
win,
like
tails
he didn't
you
like
lose.
that musical dig of the Jags front office, did he?
Musical jags instead of musical
I'm
chairs.
telling you, that's why no one wants that fucking job because you travel overseas so damn much.
I think I could actually do the GM job of the Jags better.
Are you gonna own AEW or are you gonna put it towards the team?
I'm not owning anything. I'm not the owner. I'm saying I could be a better GM. And that's on accident.
A lot of teams need better GMs. Finding a good GM nowadays is like finding.
Well,
No.
the only good news is a lot of these teams, like I said, this year weren't in cap hell, which is good.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. I did that. I did the rest in peace to Bob Uecker Friday. It sucks he's gone. We'll never hear great lines like, and this week is Die Hard night at the stadium. Free admission to anybody who was alive for the last championship.
I hope they, whenever they close down the first Milwaukee Stadium, I hope they play his speech that he gave as like the final farewell because that just closed out everything. It was really a really nice closing speech, and I thought that would be really good for his final, farewell.
Right.
And I can't wait to see more offensive linemen and defensive linemen get touchdowns because every time I do, I get that line from the replacements from John Madden in my head. You remember what line I'm talking about? I love it when a fat guy scores a touchdown because then you get a fat guy dance.
Yep. That was a great one.
That's the replacements, right?
Yes, I love that movie. But the best serious line in that movie had to do with the quicksand. The one from Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened to the Lions Saturday. It was quicksand. Anything that could go wrong would, and no matter what you did to try and get out of it, you just kept digging yourself deeper.
Yeah. Hey Jeremy, I wanted to tell you, I think the changing point where it was like it was over for you guys was the Gibbs interception. I thought that's where
It was before that.
You think
it was
so?
way before that. It was as soon as Amik Robertson went down, we quit stopping him from scoring. Remember, we didn't give up a touchdown in the first quarter. As soon as he went down, which was the second play of the second drive, they were scoring at will.
Yeah. And he was on the bike for a while trying to get back out there. But I guess after a while, they were just like, no, we're not even going to chance it. I said,
Go ahead, Joe.
I really couldn't believe how I don't know what happened there. You guys just imploded, or did Dan Quinn really get his shit right? Did he make the right calls every single time?
It looked like Dan Quinn made the right calls, and we couldn't stop him.
Wearing that hat backwards,
James
baby.
Burgess said, "Oh, I do like Kerryon Arnold in the way he played. He was the only one that was still doing anything after that happened. He broke up quite a few passes, and I was like, wow, I'm impressed with the kid. For a rookie guy in the playoffs, he stepped up better than everybody else."
That was a typo.
Jeremy, I did tell you, Laporta, man.
I know.
I told people, I said, watch out for that guy this game, man. He went off.
He got it. He got a touchdown.
One-hander.
That's going to be, unless something happens in the next 3 games, that's going to be
yes, sir.
Best player.
Yes, sir, Roger. He was all over the field. I noticed. I was paying attention, and he didn't get called for a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
Young guy says no defense will get you. And the defense fell apart. As soon as Amik went off, the next play was the screen pass to Terry McLaurin after that. And that was when the guy I said I didn't want to see on the field, but because of that Amik Robertson getting hurt, who got put on the field? ABV. Anybody but Kendall Vildor. He gets on the field. and they're tied up in those blocks, and Scary Terry gets the screen pass. He jumps too soon off his block, misses, goes across in front of Scary Terry, and takes Ifeatu Mafalafanu out of the play. So him doing what he always does, leaving his feet too soon, ended up taking the only guy that was fast enough to keep up with Scary Terry. Go back and watch it. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he went off and he kind of went like lateral with his body the way he fell and took the guy out right in the hip. I mean,
right. And then it was Kirby Joseph, who's not as fast, trying to come across from the safety position when Scary Terry is fast. He's called Scary Terry for a reason.
Right.
I guess looking at Gun Guy, do you feel that maybe coaches in the playoffs should not be allowed to talk to anybody?
I said that.
Any coaches?
Yes, I agree. I think going forward, no one should be able to interview if you're in the playoffs till after the Super Bowl. Period. You know, not if you're
Is that any team, or as soon as you're out, and then your coaches can move on.
If you're out, like if you're on the bench, on the sidelines, you're able to be talked to. Right. But I'm saying once it's playoff teams, not until the Pro Bowl week or later. How's that?
Are we talking about for hirings?
Yes.
Yeah, because Ben Johnson pretty much, we all knew he was going to get that job.
We knew he was getting a job, but the one we were told he was getting was the Raiders or Jags. The fact it was Chicago, it was wow. You know, that was the shocker.
Yeah, I 100%.
Yep.
They were never gonna announce that in the middle of this week.
Well,
hey, Ben Johnson's going to Chicago.
Yeah, but they didn't even announce the second interview. That's the crazy thing. It wasn't announced. He got called Monday morning. As soon as we were out of the playoffs. Hey, come on in. And he was hired that afternoon by 4 p.m. And it was official today. And I saw his welcome to Chicago. I loved his speech. Don't get me wrong. I'm not mad at him for taking that job. I don't care what anybody says. If he went there and took an OC job, I'm pissed.
Mm-hmm.
But since it was a promotion, I'm not going to be mad at him. Even though it's a division rival, it just sucks. How's that?
Oh, my God, James Burgess.
Yeah, Ben Johnson's initial DJ working with Caleb. Coincidence or corn cob? Joey knows what picture.
Well, the fact that his
Joey knows the picture that he's talking about.
Name Johnson.
By the way, is that photoshopped or is that like a legit picture?
That's a legit picture from the Thanksgiving game.
Hey, yo, no Diddy.
No Diddy.
Oh my God.
Ain't no party like a Diddy party.
Anyway. Next time you get a chance, watch my show.
All right.
You'll see the picture.
Let's see. The Sabres are going to do what they always do. Go up 1-0 and then crap the bed. Anyway. I'm back.
I mean, my goalie my goalie was the first one to get an assist and an open empty net goal. So
that was pretty entertaining to watch coming from a Sabres fan.
Congratulations to Ned on that one.
Yeah, pretty much.
Who was that, Fleury?
What, my goalie?
Yeah.
Alex.
Yeah, because you guys waved Tristan.
I would just call him Ned. It's a lot shorter.
You guys waved Tristan Jerry. That's why.
Good. He sucks.
Yeah.
He let more pucks behind him than he did in front of him.
He started out promising as a prospect, and then he just went downhill after that.
That guy's glove is so
okay.
Weird.
There it is. There's the Cobb picture that everybody's talking about for you.
Oh my goodness.
So bad. That's when every fag knew they wanted him.
Oh, there you go. Jesus, you've seen it.
No.
Now you've seen it.
Somebody should let him know that teeth is a bad thing. Fucking weirdo. Damn.
Why would you do that? Like,
I know.
So weird.
Well, because they didn't get the turkey because they didn't win, so they got the Cobb.
Dude, they suck. They suck. I don't care. I'm always going to think. I am not a fan of Caleb Williams. So every time I get a chance,
I know you're not, but if they get him an O-line with him being sacked 70 times in the season, he will be better.
I said the same thing, an O-line and a coach with structure and everything, and you got
Just think of how many more times he would have got sacked, Jeremy, if they wouldn't have went in to stop the prevent defense.
Right. If they'd have just scored earlier.
I even said that for your Lions.
Yep.
If they didn't fall into that prevent the win defense, they had a way better game on Thanksgiving.
James, he goes, Caleb dances to the beat of his own drummer, who mostly uses his finger symbol.
Ew.
Yeah.
So nasty.
Wow.
Good Lord, James. I love everybody, but it is getting late. You can find me at Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions on YouTube. You can find me at Smoking Jeremy B1 on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you, Adam, Jamie, and Joey. I'm gonna
Jeremy, I also want to tell you that this is going to be the link for all time to get in here. So
okay, so keep it. Gotcha.
Yeah. Joey, I guess you just got the memo too. Anytime you want to pop in, go for it. You got the link.
Just
Appreciate
keep that email. We start at 9:00 on Tuesdays. Hop on in with us, Joey.
Wait, I didn't get that email or link.
I emailed him the link. Is what I did.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Jamie, you have backstage access. You don't need the link.
Yeah, I do.
I need
Joey,
to-
how people
I
get
need
you,
to-
man?
To be honest, I'm just on YouTube. I'm not really big on other social media platforms. It's not for me. But if you want to talk football, you guys can catch me here, or you can come to my YouTube page, Joey Uso, OUSO.
Nice.
Why doesn't Jaleb hurt so good?
I always say that.
When he-
that's
When he
why.
doesn't turn the ball over, he hurts really well.
I always say Jalen Hurts so good on my podcast. He's Rogers copying most of my things, but who is?
Well,
Rodgers,
Jamie,
by
just
the
to let you know, if you two do play each other in 3 weeks, there's a show for you.
Yep,
Yeah.
our small interior D line against the biggest offensive line in football.
Yep.
Well,
I would like
that
to see it.
small interior D line did pretty good against our powerhouse O line, so I'm not going to give it any shit.
Yeah,
How's that? Because Ed Oliver and your other defensive tackle was in our backfield more than your DN.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That Ed Oliver's a great defensive tackle, but I mean he's fast, but he's like I said, he's under 287's undersized for a defensive tackle though.
Yeah, it is.
We could discuss Lamar Jackson to Detroit next week. I don't want him. The guy that I hope takes the OC position out of all of the assistant coaches that I heard out of Detroit, I hope it's Mark Brunell. I
that'd be
seriously think
That
think
would
he'd
be
be a good OC for Chicago and help Caleb Williams a lot. As much as you hate him, Adam, you have to admit he did some wonders fixing the mechanic problems that Goff had. Because
Yep.
Goff looks good now. So that means that we could actually have that transition because
Okay,
he's going to
so-
retire again. We'll bring Teddy Bridgewater in as our quarterback coach.
So I didn't really look over things, but is Chicago losing anyone? Is anyone retiring? Keenan Allen's up there. DJ Moore's up there.
Keenan Allen's the
Cole
only one to
Kmet,
pay. Cole Kmet's already resigned there, so he's locked up. Both those linebackers, the Edwards boys, Tremaine and TJ, those
TJ
guys
Edwards.
need to be resigned, or they have
TJ Edwards is a great linebacker.
TJ's way better than Tremaine.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
But for right now, we're not trading Hooker either. We're going to keep Hooker because Bridgewater is probably going to end up our quarterback coach. Dan Campbell told everybody that Hooker is here to be our best backup, to train to be a good NFL quarterback. And I think it's because, let's face it, we didn't get to the Super Bowl. And we all said it was a Super Bowl or bust these 2 years with Goff in this contract. And if you look at the way the contract breaks down, that's exactly what it looks like. Because it frees up cap space in year 3 to get rid of them if we don't get to the Super Bowl. So this is the Super Bowl window for Goff. It is.
Mm.
It's
Yep.
this year coming up. We have to get there, or they're not going to keep him. I'm not.
Nikki Pender.
Woohoo! Roger, look at what he wrote about me.
Chris Berman. Yeah, I got nothing on
Because I
you,
always
Chris.
try to do Chris Berman.
Okay, Chris
stuff throughout
Berman.
my stuff.
Yeah, I mean, hey, yeah, you know who had more whoop this year than anybody? Saquon Barkley.
Oh yeah.
The
Ethan
reverse
Bear's a lot
hurdle.
of
The
grown men.
reverse hurdle.
When he jumped over that dude backwards, I was just that might be play of the year.
That was the whoop.
Yeah.
After the stumble risky with Detroit over Chicago. I think those were the two best plays of the year. And I don't think it's close. Because that stumble Ruski, when you hear the whole Lion sideline go, ball, 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 and then you hear the defense yell, fumble, we had them.
I think they should have used that play more in the playoffs than they did in the regular season. But that's just me.
I think they used it too soon.
All right.
The only reason why I think Teddy Bridgewater goes straight into coaching is because Hendon Hooker, Maurice Alexander, and Jamison Williams all went and worked with Teddy Bridgewater in the offseason prior to training camp while he was retired. So,
All right, James, how people get you? We could bullshit all night, boys. I know that.
All right. You guys could follow me, yours truly, at Bill's Chat 1 at Bill's Mafia Chat, and also at Jamie Malloy, the unbiased journalist at DJ Dog Tags on X. You can also follow me at Forkball or at theforkball.com where I write about all sports. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Driving to the Top Productions. Don't forget to like, comment, ring the bell for notifications. And for more content on Driving to the Top Productions, please visit our YouTube page, our Twitch stream, Facebook stream, X, wherever you consume your podcast. Thank you guys very much for listening. This has been Open Mic Night. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening. We're always driving to the top.
Absolutely, Jam. At Sports Talking It on Twitter, Driving to the Top on Twitter. Jamie just told us we're on YouTube. And Joe, thanks for coming on. Jeremy, always thank you. Dylan, obviously. Jamie, thank you. Hey, everybody, have a good night.
All right.